Hey everybody, it's Tani Seren here, and today I am finally picking one of the topics that was requested by you all, and we are going to be talking about what not to do during dating. So it's been a minute since I've dated, but when I did, I do have some fantastic horror stories that are going to kind of directly reflect the what not to do. So, whether you've been single for a while, whether it has been a very long time since you have been, jumping into the dating scene can be very scary. If you've been burned in the past, it could be even worse. And what happened to you in the past could kind of reflect over to how you view newcomers. So these are some few like little what you would hope would be common sense, but it oftentimes is not tidbits of advice. First of all, don't dwell on your past. So I understand that can be very difficult. If you were cheated on a bunch, you could go into a new relationship and think, oh, they're just playing games with me. They're going to cheat. They're going to do that. You don't, it's a different restaurant, okay? Different food on the menu. You can't have your same expectations as the other restaurant that you went to. This is completely different playing grounds. So please, I beg you, there's nothing less attractive than someone who really cannot trust because they've been hurt in the past. It casts doubt immediately on the integrity of the person that you are getting to know. If I meet somebody and they right away are putting me under this, oh yeah, are you sure? Because I've been lied to in the past, I've been lied to before, I realize that I'm nothing special. I've been put into a category of everybody else. There's no benefit of the doubt. You've already put me in. It's much like meeting someone and then they look at you and say, you gotta earn my friendship. Like, you're putting yourself up on a pedestal that you're asking the other person to jump through hoops that you created from the issues in your past relationships, in order to kind of gain your trust. That can be something that's a lot to chew for some people. And in my opinion, it's pretty rude. So definitely don't dwell on your past. Don't bring over your insecurities and push them onto your newcomer. So another thing is, do not press. So this is a new relationship. You're getting to know somebody. We are all busy humans. We all have crazy lives. If someone doesn't respond to you in a few minutes, don't continue to send messages. That eagerness, it can be very, very exciting. And if somebody's responding back, keep that conversation going. Absolutely. But in a lot of cases, somebody could put their phone away for a day. And if you don't hear from them and you send them 6 or 7 messages, that can be seen as very clingy, very overeager, and it can be a big red warning sign. So if you are newly dating someone, give that benefit of the doubt. Just because they don't message you back in a little bit does not mean they're not interested. A lot of things can happen, and that understanding can go a long way. And if you're really worried about it and it really seems like things have petered off, honesty is key. Sending them a message like, hey, if you need to exert your boundaries and, you're not feeling this, please understand that you can and there's no hurt feelings. I just want to gauge where you're at. It's a very casual way to show somebody that you respect their boundaries, they can voice them to you, and that you're not sitting there thinking, yeah, well, you were messaging before, you're just stringing me along. That sort of negativity has no place in any relationships, let alone early stages of getting to know somebody. So the third one is don't stalk them. So it's one thing to kind of add someone on Facebook and enjoy some of their pictures, but when you're diving deep into the background of someone else and you're looking for something, you most certainly will find something. It's a lot in the case of like reading someone else's phone, which I also think should be a big, obvious no-no. That's somebody's personal space. When you're grabbing onto that, you're showing that you don't trust them, and relationships are nothing if you don't have trust. So there's a difference between liking a few photos and, again, diving and searching. Because when you're searching and you're finding different layers depending on how long they've been on social media, you're finding past versions of themselves that you don't know. You don't know the circumstances around it. You don't know what went down at that party or with that person or any of that. And when you are looking and you are new and you don't understand them and you're drawing up your own conclusions and writing your own stories based on what you think might have happened in their past, that's very unhealthy for you. And again, that's casting opinions on somebody without really learning it for yourselves. This is about learning about this new person and welcoming them into your life, not about drawing conclusions based on something you don't know about before you've even had a chance to kind of connect with that person. So another thing I'd also like to mention is and this kind of goes hand in hand with the first one that I was saying, where it's like, let go of your past baggage. Also, don't drag along your stories. We've all heard this a million times before, I hope, and if you haven't, allow me to be the first to tell you, don't talk about your exes, all right? Your new does not really care about the nice, wonderful things or the terrible, awful things that your exes did. Even if you are truly over your exes, bringing them up to the forefront of your mind when you're supposed to be getting to know somebody can be a really big warning sign, and it can kind of shine light on the fact that you might not be over that person to your newcomer, whether you are or not. You're kind of putting that idea in their head, and that can be a big turnoff. And this is going to be the last one I'll talk about in this video. There will be other parts to this in the future, as you all requested, but this one I think is very, very important. Ask questions about them. I was reading a lot of articles where people were expressing that they would go on dates and someone would fall in love with them without ever knowing anything about them, just because they allowed that person to talk. It's very easy to find a connection with somebody when they let you talk about your feelings. But if you don't reciprocate that, it can very easily be a one-way road. It is wonderful to be able to share your secrets, to share your doubts, your dreams, your future, and talk to somebody and connect, especially if it's been a long time. But you have to understand that if you don't do the same to them, you're using them as a soundboard. You're falling in love with a soundboard, but you're not getting a chance to learn about the person behind that. So it doesn't have to be things like, okay, well, what's your favorite color? Ask deep personal questions, get to know them. Dating is about filtering out who you'd like to be with. So it's okay if the answer is not something that you want to hear. It's better to get that out now than, a couple months down the road. And I said that would be the last one, but I'm going to do one more. This one I firmly believe, what not to do in dating. Do not overdo it. Don't get ready like you're going to the damn Oscars when you go out with that person. Get ready the way you normally would. Of course, it might help your self-confidence at first to kind of get prettied up a little, but what you're going to want to know is that this is about your comfort and finding someone you're comfortable with. You're not going to dress like that every day. You're not going to put on those globs of makeup or iron that dress shirt every single day. You are going to sometimes have rougher visual days, and if that person is turned off by that, that's a great way to filter them out right away. I recommend do a nice dinner date, and then if you really like the person, maybe go hiking or something. Only if you really know the person. Send their address to all your friends. Okay, please don't get kidnapped up in the woods. Do something where you are going to sweat a little, where you aren't going to want to wear some makeup. Have fun and be comfortable, because there's nothing like feeling like you're attractive and adored and having a great time in a comfortable manner, not trying, to breathe because your shirt or your dress or your outfit's just a little too tight, or trying to blink past all your makeup. That could be something that really hinders the experience sometimes, and it's not maybe true to how you really are every single day, and that's the point. So thanks for so much letting me kind of yap at you and throw information at you, Internet. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for requesting this. Those of you who are on my Patreon, you control these fun videos and what you want to know, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. So thank you, everybody. I really look forward to chatting with you soon, and we will have a part 2 out momentarily. Thank you all so much.